So are you gonna post the picture with me? I see. Telling us we laughed a little, but here we are together. How fun. That's fun. Isn't that fun?
All right, we're good to go, I think.
Oh,
Oh.
no, it's very listening.
So I can see the Zoom on here, but it's not,
You can't hit start.
well, no, I mean, like, they've started it, it's recording, it's just not popping up.
I think
What-
we
I
still
guess,
need
is it
the
this that
room.
pops up there?
On
We
our
need
end
room
here,
355 to be joining too, I
we
think.
just- We don't see you all or the information. We see I emailed basically just the start of it. Room 350. I don't know what the
You are
right.
a lifesaver.
What are you guys doing?
Well, there was,
We
there was the meeting going, and they hit record, and then they tried to hit unrecord, and then they closed the meeting. And now
Where
we're
is,
restarting. the meeting.
Meeting ID and password. Cause I've got it logged on that. computer.
Gotcha.
Go team.
That was definitely a cheerleader move.
Cheerleader. I was never a cheerleader. Turn on the, is that what? It needs to be shut off.
Okay, today in our Tribal Education Caucus, we have oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was recording, so I was. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are here with Shannon Boswell from the Office of Public Instruction, and she is going to share with us information on career and technical education enrollment and career and technical education student organizations on reservation schools. Take it away, oh my gosh, who's Ashley? Ashley.
You know, I guess it could be my name for the day. I'll be Ashley. Thanks, Carrie. So thank you for being with us. And I do want to say we do have quite a few of our staff members from career technical and adult education. So we have both sides of the house represented with our adult education director and program specialist, and then our family consumer science and health science specialist is on. So they're also happy to field calls or questions with anything. But part of the presentation today was to talk about our Montana career pathways and what those look like. And then because of some questions that came out of education committee 2 weeks ago, I think it was, no, I guess a week ago. It's been a really long week. We started pulling data, and to me that felt like it was going to be more useful to share with you. So one of the things I want to first start with is what is a Montana career pathway? And when we look at pathways, we're looking at a foundational course and an elective course built within a high school curriculum that's going to build upon skill. You know, it's not, we like to say it's not random acts of career and technical education, but it's actually purposeful and thoughtful in how they proceed through coursework to ensure that they're building upon the skills that they need to. And so when we look in Montana, we've identified 16 main career pathways, and those fall under agriculture with our ag, food, and natural resources, and agricultural mechanics and construction. Under business and marketing, we have arts, AV, technology, and communication, business management, finance, information technology, and marketing. Under the family and consumer sciences sector, most people kind of think of, I'm going to use this term because Gayla loves when we do, of the old home ec, right? But there's so much more to it. So we look at design and construction, which is actually one pathway, but we identify it in two different modes. One is the FCS design and construction, and that's talking more about the interior design, those more aesthetic pieces. And then we have an education pathway, hospitality and tourism, and human services. And there's quite a few things that fall under those human services pathways. Under health science, it is a health professions pathway. This is one of our faster growing, most in demand pathways. Right now, we have 21 schools with those pathways, and lots that are trying to find professionals to help teach those, especially in our more rural and our reservation schools, really trying to get those growing. And then our last sector is an industrial and technology area. And so we talk about advanced manufacturing, design and construction again, but here we're talking more on the fabrication and building concepts. And then science, technology, engineering, mathematics, which is, we know is STEM, really focuses on the engineering aspects. Transportation, distribution, and logistics, which is funny because people sometimes scratch their head on that one, but that's a lot of our automotive. And actually, in the adult ed sector, we're looking at CDL components, those things that really help build out that pathway. And then the last one is welding and fabrication. And I'm happy to share numbers if you're curious how many schools in Montana have those pathways. We do have them on our website as well, but we really working with our post-secondary partners at OCHI in building these pathways out. In 2017, it was really strong focus on the areas that were strong in Montana. And so when we started looking at how these pathways align, we wanted to make sure we were hitting the workforce that was here and thinking about what the need was going to be. Obviously, we know health science is a big one. We know construction is a huge one as well. And manufacturing, they're all just very much in need of workforce. A couple others that we see coming up that we've kind of been doing some research on is early childhood development, and also more of like public safety. So thinking about like government services, those types of things. We're looking at some of those pieces that may be pathways we would expand into. But right now, the big focus is going to be that early childhood development and childcare. So those are our pathways. If you want to look through, I do have it broke down based on all of our reservations and the schools there. We only have, I think, 3 schools. It's page 5, sorry. Kind of skipping around, but I wanted to make sure that we talked about the pathways portion first. But on page 5, you can see we have 2 schools listed that say no pathways. And it isn't that those schools aren't teaching any CTE courses. They just currently don't offer enough or a good sequence, or they don't have a certified teacher teaching. So that's why they're not recognized as approved pathways. For instance, Heart Butte is teaching courses in woods and welding. Prior is doing some design and construction IT, and I think they do now have a certified teacher. So we're hoping to see that change with the coming year. And then on Fort Peck with Nashua schools, they are teaching industrial arts and automotive. So there are classes being taught. It's just a matter of getting them sequenced and building those out. But these are things that our specialists are working on, and they're the ones that are trying to connect with teachers in the field and make sure that they're supported and understand the importance of the sequence of courses. So.
When it comes, thank you. When it comes to schools that don't have pathways,
Mhm.
how do they get to have those pathways?
So again,
So we can recognize it's choice.
right, it is choice. But a lot of it is with our smaller schools, it does come down to FTE and whether they have, whether they need to flex that teacher to teach something else. But for us, it's that they have a certified teacher in the area and that they have 2 courses in sequence. So if you look at like Nashua, they're teaching industrial arts and automotive, and why that sounds like it goes together, they are 2 different pathways within that industrial technology sector. And so it would be a matter of either looking at their courses a little differently and maybe recoding. Sometimes that's all it is too, is just a course coding issue that we work with them on. But those are schools that a lot of it comes down to FTE and opportunity. They just, it's hard to offer a class when there's maybe only 2 students interested and you need the FTE elsewhere. But they are, I think the important thing is they are teaching CTE courses. So there is an opportunity there. I think that's also where we can look at some of our flexibilities with, digital academy and different things where we could look at how do we build some foundation. I think the other exciting thing for us in our unit is the financial literacy piece, right? If that goes through, it is something that would be considered a foundations course across the board. It's something that we treat with schools that already require it as a foundation. So it helps build those pathways out without adding more need. Like so we really are excited about those flexibilities because there's some opportunity to build out some additional pathways for some schools with it if everything goes and the stars align and it all happens. So I think that, will be a unique opportunity for a lot of our students.
So what Shannon is alluding to, we asked the Board of Public Ed for flexibilities within the 20 graduation credits. And that means then that financial literacy would be a half a unit or 1 semester. And there's lots of flexibilities to implement that at the local level. What that also means is that a legislator has picked that up and there is kind of like benchmarks between what does it mean. It's more guidance in statute to define what is happening in the Board of Public Education's rules. I think the more flexibilities and choice we can offer, then that local control model is picked up even more. Do you have any questions at all? Not to put you on the hot spot regarding
No,
pathways.
I'm just, I'm from Fort Beck, so I pretty much know the schools going into the Fraser Public School in my field practicum because I was taking an education. I was seeking an education degree through MSU Northern. Then I didn't follow through with it, but I did get a little bit of experience. But
It's
Fraser,
never too late.
yeah,
We're happy to get you as a class 4 certification if you need
Oh.
that.
I'm this close. All I had to do is just basically just turn in the application for class 7, so I could do a class 7 too. I have a lot of different interests, but the Fraser Public Schools definitely need quite a bit of support when it comes to everything. And then Nashua, my father went there, but these the schools, that don't have the pathways program in them. I'm not too familiar with Hart Butte or Pryor, but it becomes really important because not everybody goes on to become a doctor.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And that's, that's the nice thing about the flexibilities that we do have within our Montana career pathways is we do have some other opportunities. And I think as we find more and more digital opportunities out there, I really think we're going to see some really cool ways to get the skill sets to students,
I have a great
especially in remote areas where it's not feasible to put in an entire mechanic shop, but they still can build those skills out. Or, in the part of healthcare, that same thing, there's some really cool virtual stuff to have students learn all the skills and the training and kind of get that time in with not having to leave their school, and then when they do get to go to a clinic and actually do practical application, they've already practiced for hours in these settings. So I think there's some really cool things coming down the pike that are really going to be beneficial to our frontier schools, especially. So for us, we can't really talk about coursework and pathways without also touching on career and technical student organizations. We truly feel that it is an embedded part of the curriculum, that when we talk about career and technical education, students are getting those employability skills. We don't like the word soft skills. We think that's a dirty word. We like to call them employability skills because that's really what they are. You know, the communication factors, the problem solving, all of those things. That is where they are developing a lot of those opportunities is through their career and technical student organizations. And so the question came about out of the Ed Committee with House Bill 382 about what the enrollment does look like for CTSOs in our reservation schools. So it was kind of fun to go pull all of that data and really kind of dissect it and take a look at it. And I am happy to say that it's not surprising to me how well some of our schools have done because they have very active engagement in their CTSOs. Again, we have some like Heart Butte that doesn't have a CTSO, but when you don't have a strong pathway or a teacher that's certified, it's really hard to make that connection. But for me, this is something that I can work with our specialists and our state directors to target in on and say, hey, here's a school that doesn't have any CTSO opportunities. We need to get a foot in the door, you know, and provide some opportunities for students.
Well, it is, what, 10% at least. So if you look at that, we might be right aligned, but there's always room for growth.
Absolutely.
And this data is from 2020, which is it?
It's 21, 22.
Out of the pandemic.
Yeah, well, and if you look at the chart there at the bottom, we did show a comparison for 2021 and 21, 22, and we have seen that growth. We are up about almost 500 students or just a little over 500 students enrolled in CTSOs since coming out of the pandemic. And so it's really nice because prior to that 2020 year, we were seeing really good growth across all of our CTSO organizations. We hit a really hard dip. And then last year we boosted back up to over 10,000 students.
So this
with-
is a year behind. And
Yeah.
so we'll be able to recognize that growth with the next chart when we get the data. 'Cause we
Yeah.
haven't closed from,
From July 1 to June 30th.
so we're not quite there.
No, but just, you know, kind of taking a glance at our data, we know numbers are going to be up. Several of our organizations are planning for or have just had their state conference. And DECA reported that it was their largest conference ever. So students really want the engagement. A lot of our CTSOs are also building out middle grade engagement. And so we're seeing that as a way to capture students earlier, get those skills started sooner, and then be able to follow them into high school and whatever their post-secondary goals are. So any questions about the CTSOs, the data that's there? Just to give you an idea, in Montana, we have 7 nationally recognized student organizations for career and technical education of the 8 student organizations. So we have all but one of them. And those are FFA, BPA, Business Professionals of America. We have DECA, FCCLA, which is FCCLA week. So I got to give that shout out for Gayla. So she'll be very happy that I remembered. And HOSA, and then we have Skills USA and TSA. So
You see them on the screen and they're also on page 3 here. What's interesting, there's a bill that's going through the House, was heard in House Education. Most recently, I think on
Yeah.
the 6th.
yeah,
And it is to give $1 million each year of the biennium. And how that is shared is instead of $65,000 flowing from our office to each of the administrators of these organizations that you see on the left here, these CTSOs administrators, It enhances their salary 10,000 more, so going up to 75, and the word is up to. And then it allows the rest of the dollars to be shared equally among these CTO organizations or CTSO organizations. I don't know if it came out of committee. I think it might have yesterday in executive action.
For 382,
Yeah,
I
382.
believe so, yes.
that's, I was just tracking this. It's,
I,
Thank you.
committee report bill passes amended 2/16/2023 and now
Wonderful, wonderful.
13-0.
Well, and what prompted all this was Representative Running Wolf, because one of his questions to Shannon here was, what does it look like in Indian country? Who are we? And I think this is really an important part for members on the floor to recognize. So I'm glad that you're here, Representative. So for all that have come, this is Representative Smith, and he's especially in your world, right? And in my world more so. Welcome, sir.
I will make note that,
Well, and that's Tara. Tara is a great member of the OPI. So, and you've probably seen her a lot around here. Oh, me? I'm a great member of the OPI too, as we all hear on the screen. Shannon, I apologize.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead and continue. Their time is precious.
So I do want to make a few notes that if you're looking on page 8 of the CTSO chapters, there are several that we know are going to be added. So for instance, Cut Bank will be adding a Skills USA chapter. Valier's FFA chapter will be reinstated. They had gone a year or two without a teacher. And so now they have a teacher back in place to act as that advisor. So we are seeing those growth. We're seeing growth of chapters, growth of students. Haver just expanded. They now have an ag program. And so we'll see quite a jump there for their CTSO numbers as well.
Perfect. And if you look at that document, you've got reservation on the very far left. And then the schools that are within the reservation per the tribe. And then the total enrollment within the school, and then the CTE enrollment and the CTSO members. We can really grow our membership there.
Yeah.
But what's really important though, is that CTE is being recognized. And that's part of the work that we do at the OPI. It would be grateful to have that bill, like we just annotated, progress through to increase that engagement in the student membership to make sure that we are there.
Yeah.
And not only that then, but then also what kind of chapter it might be of an organization. So, and then it talks about the percentage. So all of this is really good information. And, I could print off 100 of these, Representative Smith, but I know you could stand on the Senate or on the House floor, and give great information out. We're going to make sure that members that aren't here have this information. So when that bill does come up, they have recognition and understanding.
And I know if you're looking at the numbers, it seems strange to have over 100% participation in career and technical education, but that is because we count each course as an enrollment. So a lot of times students are taking 1 or 2 or 3 courses, especially as they get to that junior and senior year. So that is why that number might look a little strange, but it makes sense to us when we're looking at the data because of how those counts are made. So, any questions?
I just wanted to make a comment. My nephew, Jerome Forstar, he was just in the paper for his involvement in school. He's in FFA. It kind of surprised me, but at my cousin Chris Forstar's house, they have a chicken coop. So
Oh yeah.
I would just,
What school?
what point?
Oh yeah, I think I've seen a couple of social media posts of some of the schools that are doing some chickens at school and they're raising some
But the
poultry.
price of eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the price of it,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I want to recognize, so one of our state FFA officers comes to us from Lodgegrass. Anthony Hernandez is currently serving as state FFA officer. And so, there's lots of great leadership because of these CTSOs that students are exposed to. One of the great things about the student organizations
is the opportunity to serve at the local, state, and national level, the opportunity to participate in various competitions, to build skill, to network with business and industry and community partners. Some of the other things, I mean, I could talk all day about the wonders of CTSOs, but I think some of the other great things that come out of that are the fact that those students are communicating, they're getting outside of their community, they get to attend regional, state, national competitions, and they gain award recognition and scholarships and just an overall level of achievement and self-worth and just that feeling of accomplishment. So I think any of the lessons that they're learning, regardless of the CTSO, is very valuable and important.
Couldn't say it better.
Is there a lot of military recruitment going on?
So we do also oversee the ROTC kind of funnels through us in a little bit of a different way. And that is one of the things that when we hired Jamie, we wanted to expand that into health science and public service or public safety, and looking at those ROTC pieces. And I know that that is a project that we're looking at of how can we help expand. Not being from Montana, I was really surprised when I moved here that there weren't more junior ROTC programs, because my home state, they're everywhere.
Yeah, we have, I believe, one that's bona fide and one that we're working on right now.
So
It would be wonderful if we could. And recruitment is down across our state for any of our armed services. One of the things I do want to shout out, and I know Katie Matson, who's also part of this unit, works with our Youth Challenge. And 20% of those students, there are about 100 that come for each semester to Dillon, to the campus down there. 20% of them are tribal. And it's wonderful to see blossom. It's wonderful to see how structure has really helped, and also to see what they're going to do afterwards.
My granddaughter just graduated in the last class
Oh,
from YC. So
you know,
she lost 40 pounds and she's working at the Trinity Hospital now. She's doing great.
I got to speak at that
fantastic.
graduation. I may
Yeah.
have seen you there.
Yeah, probably.
That was wonderful. What a great opportunity.
well, and Katie's on. I don't know if Katie wants to share any information about Montana Youth Challenge, but I did ask her because I know last time I was here, there were questions about HiSET. And so I asked her maybe to be on just in case there were any questions today about that. Wanted to share my time and your time with her if any of you had questions for her in that sector as well. But we do try to work across adult ed and secondary education and try to make those connections. So good. Good. I know they've been trying to pull some data too to share with the vendor change. It's been a very tenuous 6 to 7 months of things of getting that all cleared up. So
With HiSET, and it used to be just a federal program that came through, and it was kind of like a cleanup program. I think, and I want to give a great shout out to Katie and in the OPI, we've elevated it. There's opportunities. A diploma means, of course, something that's very honorable, but so does a HiSET. And completion, regardless, is important. And adding that avenue, I believe, to a student to say that they can be both celebrated is important, very important. One of the things we did with the Youth Challenge that's also available with corrections, that our office holds a diploma that happened last session. And thank you for your vote. That happened last session where you can take the HiSET, you can have certain things that support you through after that. If you don't have an opportunity for a high school diploma and graduation, to be able to receive a state of Montana diploma that will honor your service, honor your work of where you are and what you've achieved, but also give to that employer. Say, hey, Montana recognizes it. So that's great. It's excellent. And I can give you data on what we have. A majority of them have come from Dillon, from the Youth Challenge, because some of those students don't go back home. They either go on to military or they go wherever. But it was really good. Well, any other further questions you might have of our great people? Or Tara?
He's very
Said it that way. Thank you all for attending today. I appreciate you spending time with us. This is recorded and will be up on our website for sure. Blessings to you all, and thank you for supporting American children and Montana children. Thank you.